There exists a language that needs no words. A form of communication that happens when two bodies meet and recognize, in profound intimacy, that something sacred exists there. It's not about performance, it's about presence. It's about the ability to be there, whole, vulnerable, available for a connection that goes far beyond the physical. When a man is truly in love, when he feels he's found his soulmate, this manifests in subtle but profound ways during intimacy. And today, drawing from Carl Jung's depth psychology and wisdom about soul connections, I'm going to show you exactly how this happens. Because there's a world of difference between being with someone physically and being with someone with your soul. If you want to understand whether the man beside you is truly in love, whether he feels you're the person he wants to share not just moments of pleasure with, but a lifetime of love and connection, then you need to know these 7 signs. They don't lie. They can't be faked. They're pure manifestations of a heart that has found its home. Before we talk about these signs, you need to understand something crucial. Science confirms what Carl Jung intuited about the unconscious. Modern psychological research shows that the body doesn't lie. Even when we try to control our words, there's a phenomenon called nonverbal communication, small unconscious leaks that reveal authentic emotions. Similarly, studies on affective touch demonstrate that intimate partners can transmit deep feelings through physical contact alone, without needing any words. Touch, at this level, becomes the language of the soul. Couples in love naturally enter positive resonance. Expressions, breathing, rhythms, and emotions begin to synchronize, creating a feeling of unity. It's as if two bodies vibrate in unison, reflecting what Jung described as the awakening of primordial archetypes, unconscious images connected to the sacred feminine, protection of the soulmate, reverence for spiritual union. That's why you can trust these signs. They're not performed, can't be consciously manufactured. They come from such a deep place in the masculine psyche that he might not even control them himself. They're automatic, natural responses from a soul that has recognized its home in another soul. Often, the man himself doesn't understand why he acts this way. He just feels he needs to be present, whole, reverent, as if guided by something greater than rational thought. The first thing that happens when a man is truly in love is that he slows down. Completely. Carl Jung said that when we find someone who touches our soul, time takes on a different quality. It stops being chronological and becomes sacred. You notice this in how he touches you. There's no rush. There's no anxiety. There's reverence in the way his hands find your body. It's as if he's discovering something precious for the first time. Even if you've been together hundreds of times, each touch carries a quality of discovery, of silent gratitude. The man in love understands that this moment isn't just about physical pleasure. It's about communion. It's about two souls recognizing each other through the oldest language in the world. And that's why he's not in a hurry. He knows that every second is sacred, that every shared breath is a miracle, even if unconsciously. Jung spoke about the concept of mystical participation, that temporary fusion where two consciousnesses become one. And that's exactly what happens. The man in love isn't trying to conquer or impress. He's trying to merge. He's trying to create a space where you both stop being two and become one unique energy. You can notice this in his breathing. It synchronizes with yours without him realizing. You can notice it in gestures that become more tender, more attentive. It's not a performance, it's surrender. He's there not to prove something, but to share something sacred. When a man feels he's found his soul connection, all his focus concentrates on being present. There are no thoughts about other women, about performance, about what comes next. There's only this moment, this person, this fusion that's happening. And this manifests in a presence you can feel physically. The second manifestation is even deeper. He looks into your eyes throughout the entire intimacy. And it's not a superficial look. It's a gaze that seeks your soul. Carl Jung believed that eyes are windows to the unconscious, and when a man is truly in love, he instinctively seeks this connection through the gaze. The man who only wants physical pleasure avoids deep eye contact during intimacy, because the gaze creates connection, and connection creates emotional responsibility. But the man in love seeks exactly that. He wants to connect, wants to see your soul, wants you to see his. This gaze carries an intensity that can be almost frightening at first. It's as if he's trying to memorize every expression of yours, every reaction, every moment of pleasure or surrender. It's not a possessive gaze, it's a gaze of recognition. As if he's silently saying, "It's you. It's really you, the person I've been waiting for. Jung said that when two people truly look into each other's eyes, they see each other not just as they are, but as they can become. The gaze of the man in love has this transformative quality. He doesn't see you just as a beautiful or desirable woman. He sees you as an extension of his own soul, as someone who completes something that was incomplete within him. You can perceive this in the intensity of the gaze, but also in the vulnerability he allows to show. His eyes aren't defending anything, aren't hiding anything. They're open, available, offering direct access to what he feels for you. It's almost telepathic, this communication that happens through the gaze during intimacy. And there's something more. The man in love can maintain this eye contact even in moments of greatest intensity, because for him, emotional and spiritual connection is as important as physical. He wants to share every sensation with you, wants you to experience that moment together, not just in bodies, but in souls. The third characteristic is revolutionary. He stops separating his own pleasure from yours. For the truly loving man, there's no my pleasure and your pleasure. There's only our pleasure. And this completely changes the dynamics of intimacy. Jung spoke about individuation, the process of becoming a complete person. But he also spoke about the importance of conscious fusion with someone we recognize as part of ourselves. And that's exactly what happens in intimacy when a man is really in love. He's not focused on having pleasure. He's focused on creating mutual pleasure. It's not that he ignores his own sensations. It's that he perceives his sensations are intrinsically connected to yours. When you feel pleasure, he feels pleasure. When you surrender, he surrenders. It's as if you were two instruments playing the same song. This manifests in very concrete ways. He pays attention to every reaction of yours, not just to know if he's doing it right, but because he genuinely wants to share every moment of pleasure with you. He wants you to rise together, feel together, surrender in the same rhythm. The man in love instinctively understands that true intimacy isn't about conquest. It's about mutual surrender. He's not trying to take you somewhere. He's trying to go somewhere with you. And that place is a dimension where you both become one unique energy, pulsing at the same frequency. You can notice this in his rhythm, which naturally adjusts to yours, in the pauses he makes when he senses you need a moment, in how he speeds up or slows down based not on what he wants, but on what you're both creating together. It's a cosmic dance where both are dancers and music at the same time. The fourth manifestation touches something even deeper. He whispers your name like a prayer. For the truly loving man, saying your name during intimacy isn't just expression of pleasure. It's sacred recognition of who you are to him. Carl Jung studied extensively the power of words and names. He believed that when we speak someone's name with deep intention, we're invoking that person's essence. We're calling not just the body, but the soul. And that's exactly what happens when a man in love speaks your name during intimacy. It's not a name screamed at the peak of pleasure, though that can happen too. It's a name whispered as recognition, as gratitude, as calling. It's as if he's saying, you. It's you who's here with me. You who's transforming me. You who's making me feel complete. The man who only wants physical pleasure might say your name too, but it's different. It's more performative, more calculated. The man in love speaks your name as if it were the most important word in the world at that moment. Because for him, it is exactly that. You can hear the difference in his voice. There's a quality of reverence, of deep intimacy, of sacred recognition. It's as if he's really seeing you, not just the body, but the totality of who you are. And speaking your name with reverence is a way of honoring that totality. Jung said that when two people meet at an archetypal level, they recognize each other through sacred symbols and rituals. And speaking the name with reverence is one of these rituals. It's a way of sealing the connection, confirming that something is happening there that goes far beyond the physical. Sometimes he might speak your name like a silent question. Are you here with me? Are you feeling this too? Other times as an affirmation of gratitude, thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And there are moments when he speaks it like a call of the soul. Come with me. Let's go together to this sacred place. The fifth characteristic is touching. He remembers the details of the intimacy you share. Not just what happened, but what you felt, what you liked, what made your eyes shine. For the man in love, each intimate encounter is a page from a sacred book he wants to memorize completely. Jung spoke about the importance of effective memory, that capacity to preserve not just events, but the emotions and sensations associated with them. When a man is truly in love, he develops a hyperacute affective memory for everything that relates to you, especially the moments of greatest intimacy and connection. He remembers that time you sighed in a specific way. That moment when you closed your eyes and surrendered completely. The expression you made when you felt something particularly intense. For him, these details aren't just memories, they're treasures he keeps in his heart. This manifests in how he touches you in future encounters. He remembers exactly what awakens your deepest surrender. Not because he memorized a technique, but because he engraved in his soul's memory the moments when you connected most intensely. It's a memory of the heart, not of the mind. The man in love also remembers the conversations you have before and after intimacy, the whispered confessions, the shared fears, the revealed dreams. For him, intimacy doesn't begin and end in the physical. It's a continuum that includes everything you share when you're completely vulnerable with each other. You can notice this when he casually mentions something you said months ago during an intimate moment, or when he spontaneously recreates something that gave you special pleasure in the past. It's not calculated. It's natural. His affective memory is constantly working to deepen the connection between you. Jung would say this happens because, for the man in love, every moment of intimacy with you is an archetypal event. It's an experience that touches such deep layers of the psyche that it becomes unforgettable. And he honors this importance by keeping every detail with reverence. The sixth manifestation is deeply spiritual. He creates connection rituals that are unique to you both. It might be a specific way of looking at you before approaching, a particular way of embracing you after intimacy, words that only you two understand. For the man in love, intimacy becomes sacred and deserves sacred rituals. Carl Jung studied rituals in cultures around the world and discovered they serve to mark moments of transition and transformation. When a man is truly in love, he instinctively creates rituals that mark the transition from the ordinary world to the sacred world of intimacy you share. These rituals aren't consciously planned. They emerge naturally from the soul's need to honor something precious. It might be the way he kisses you before anything else, always in the same place, with the same reverence. Or the way he whispers something specific in your ear that has become a kind of password for your intimacy. Sometimes the ritual happens after intimacy. The way he holds you, the way you lie together, the words he always says to seal that moment. It's as if he's creating a personal ceremony that celebrates and protects the unique connection you have. The man in love instinctively feels that what happens between you two during intimacy is different from anything he's ever experienced with anyone else. And because it's different, it deserves to be treated differently. It deserves specific rituals, unique gestures, a secret language that only you two know. Jung said that rituals have power because they connect the conscious with the unconscious, the human with the divine. And that's exactly what these intimate rituals do. They transform physical intimacy into a spiritual ceremony, into a sacred act of connection between two souls. You can notice these rituals in the consistency of certain gestures, in the way he always does the same thing at the same moment, in how certain elements repeat at each encounter, creating continuity, a sense that you're participating in something greater than yourselves. And the most beautiful thing is that these rituals evolve naturally with the relationship. New gestures are incorporated, new words emerge, new forms of connection develop. It's as if you're constantly deepening and refining the sacred ceremony of intimacy you share. The seventh and final characteristic is the most transformative. After intimacy, he doesn't disconnect from you. He remains present, available, connected. For the truly loving man, intimacy has no defined end. It flows into a state of continuous connection that can last hours, days, a lifetime. Jung spoke about the importance of integration, the process of absorbing and processing transformative experiences. When a man experiences true intimacy with someone he loves deeply, he needs time to integrate this experience, and he wants you there during this process. The man who only wants physical pleasure disconnects quickly after climax, not because he's a bad person, but because there wasn't a deep enough connection to create a need for integration. The loving man wants to remain connected because, for him, what you just experienced was transformative. He wants to talk quietly about what you felt. He wants to stay there, skin to skin, breathing together, processing together the intensity of the connection. He wants to hear you talk about what you felt, wants to share his sensations, wants to understand how that experience affected you both. This permanence in connection manifests physically too. He continues touching you, not sexually, but affectionately, connectively. His hands continue exploring your body, but now with a different quality. It's a touch of recognition, of gratitude, of emotional intimacy. You can notice this in how he holds you after intimacy. It's not a polite or protocol embrace. It's an embrace that wants to keep you both connected as long as possible, as if he's trying to make that moment of union extend indefinitely. Jung said that when two people experience something archetypal together, they need time to process the meaning of that experience. The man in love instinctively knows this. He doesn't want that sacred moment to be abruptly interrupted by mundane concerns. Sometimes this permanence in connection includes shared silences that are more intimate than any conversation. You stay there, simply being together in the aftermath of something sacred. And for the man in love, these silences are as important as the moments of greatest intensity. There's something about how a man acts during intimacy that can't be faked, can't be performed, can't be manufactured. It's something that comes from the soul, from deep recognition that he's found someone special, someone with whom he wants to share not just pleasure, but soul. Carl Jung taught us that true encounter between two people happens when they recognize each other not just as bodies, but as consciousnesses, as unique expressions of the same fundamental mystery that is life. And when a man recognizes this in you, when he feels you're his soulmate, this manifests in every gesture, every look, every sigh during intimacy. It's not about sexual perfection. It's about presence. It's not about technique. It's about intention. It's not about performance. It's about mutual surrender. When a man finds his true connection, he's no longer trying to impress or conquer. He's trying to merge, to connect, to become one unique energy with you. And you know when this is happening. You feel it in the quality of his presence, in how he looks at you, as if you were a miracle he can't believe he's experiencing, in how he touches you, as if you were sacred, in how he speaks your name, as if it were the most important word in the world. You feel it in the lack of rush, in the absence of anxiety, in the total presence he offers. You feel it in how he remembers every detail of the intimate moments you share, as if they were treasures kept in his heart. You feel it in the unique rituals that naturally develop between you, creating a secret language of connection. And mainly, you feel it in how he remains connected after intimacy, as if he never wants that sacred moment to end. Because for the truly loving man, physical intimacy is just the beginning. It's the gateway to a connection he wants to extend for a lifetime. When you find a man who acts this way during intimacy, you haven't just found a lover. You've found someone who recognizes your soul. Someone who sees in you not just a beautiful or desirable woman, but a unique expression of the sacred feminine that completes something in his own soul. Jung would say these encounters are rare, precious, transformative. They don't happen with just anyone at any time. They happen when two souls are ready to recognize each other, to meet, to create together something greater than the sum of the parts. If you're experiencing this with someone, know that it's special. If you haven't experienced it yet, know that it's possible. And if you've already experienced it but aren't anymore, know that experience transformed you and prepared you to recognize when it appears again in your life. Because ultimately, true intimacy isn't about what we do with our bodies. It's about what we do with our souls. And when two souls meet and recognize each other through intimacy, they create something that transcends the physical and touches the eternal. They create a memory of paradise, an experience of the sacred, a moment where human and divine meet and dance together in the oldest language in the world. If this video helped you recognize patterns of true intimacy in your own life, leave in the comments. I recognize sacred intimacy. That way, I'll know you understood there's a world of difference between physical connection and soul connection, and that you're prepared to recognize when you find someone who offers you this second possibility. And if you want to dive even deeper into this universe of soul connections, conscious relationships and love that transcends the physical, I have 2 transformative ebooks that can revolutionize your journey. The first is 21 Days of Transformation with Carl Jung, a practical guide that will take you through a profound process of self-discovery based on Jungian psychology. In 21 days, you'll discover your inner archetypes, understand your unconscious patterns, and transform how you relate to yourself and to love. It's a journey of inner healing that prepares your soul to attract and recognize true connections. The second is Soul Survival Manual, a complete guide for navigating the emotional and spiritual challenges of deep relationships. This manual teaches you how to handle the intensity of soulmate connections, how to navigate periods of separation, how to recognize signs from the universe, and how to maintain your emotional integrity during the process of meeting your true connection. These are practical guides based on Carl Jung's wisdom that will help you not only recognize true love, but be prepared to live it fully when it comes into your life. If you feel called to this journey of self-discovery through conscious love, the links are in the first comment of the video. It's an investment in your emotional and spiritual evolution that can change your life forever. And if you want to continue exploring these deep dimensions of human relationships, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Here we dive deep into the mysteries of the soul, connection, love that goes beyond the surface. See you in the next video.